Well, happy Monday to all of you out there. And we're starting Monday hanging on the beam. Hello, everyone. My name is Wayne.
And I'm Rebecca.
And we are Your Bourbon Journey.
A couple weeks ago, we went on a little trip to Bardstown, and if you're leaving Bardstown, then you stop by Jim Beam on your way to Louisville. We planned to stop in there specifically because I had heard they had Bookers in the house, and they also have it at MSRP, which is a good thing. And we'd also had the opportunity to taste this new edition of Knob Creek at our local watering hole, Archie and Clyde's. Adam, the owner, had let us taste it ahead of time. So we knew, wow, if it's there, we want to get it. And then we were a little surprised at the cost. So I'll talk about that in just a second. But we were thrilled to pick up both of these. We actually picked up 2 of each. So backup bottles of each one of them.
Yeah, backup Bookers.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Knob Creek first, and then we'll get to tasting. This is the Knob Creek Blenders Edition. It's a Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey by Jim Beam. It's 77% corn, 13% rye, and 10% malted barley. It was aged 10 years. It is 106 proof. It was released in March of 2026. This is an inaugural release in a new limited series that shifts the spotlight from the warehouse honey barrels to the artistry of the blending team. Led by Freddie Noe, the team intentionally selected barrels aged at least a decade to deviate from Knob Creek's usual spicy oak-forward backbone. Instead, this edition focuses on the sweeter side of the profile, specifically aiming for a rich confectionery note, vanilla bean, and a soft, lingering finish that highlights the precision of a master blend. Now, you might be shocked, but the MSRP and what we pay for this is $44.99. And we got that March 28th at the Jim Beam American Outpost. Needless to say, for a special Blenders Edition, aged 10 years and 106 proof, they didn't even proof it way down, to get that for $45, I was just a little stunned, which is why we immediately picked up 2. I thought it was going to be more, but they usually price Knob Creek really well, and so I'm not hugely surprised, but for a 10-year-old, I think it's pretty nice.
That's a tremendous price. This could go down this year maybe as the bargain bourbon of the year.
Yeah.
For that price and the bottle that it is and the years, the whole gamut.
And it is sweet on the nose. It's caramel and confectionery, and it's like you opened up a big bag of candy that you can't wait to jump into. And that is not the typical Knob Creek profile.
It's not. For me, it's hitting me with confectionery sugar.
And that's why we're tasting this before the Bookers.
It's a very pleasant smell.
Yeah, it's inviting. It makes you just really want to drink it. It's got some nice heavy legs forming on it. It's going to have some good viscosity, I do believe. I'm not getting peanuts, are you?
No.
There might be back here light nutty note maybe, but it's not leading with it.
I'm getting a lot of baking spices, and I'm getting a lead of confectionery sugar.
Confectionery sugar, brown sugar, and cinnamon notes.
And I'm okay with it. I mean, once again, for the price, I'm very pleased with the nose.
Well, let's do it.
So let's give a cheers out to the Knob Creek, the new Blender Edition. Cheers.
Cheers. That's really nice.
That is very smooth. I do get a little nuttiness on it.
You got this little nuttiness happening.
And this little sweetness.
It's farther yeast strain, you're gonna get it.
Yeah, there is a little of the confectionery sugar. It does come through. It blends in with the peanuts. This is very smooth. Okay, this is a dangerous bottle. This is a bottle that you could sit and go through and hit and wake up somewhere that you don't know where you're at. Kind of like, feel like I do.
It's a really easy drinker.
Yes.
Really easy to drink because it's not hitting you hard anywhere, and it's got that proof though. It's 106, so it could sneak up on you, but it's sweet. It reminds me of one of the Bookers from last year, but less proofy, and I'm trying to think of which one it was, but there was one that had peanuts, and it reminded me that it had been rolled in cinnamon and brown sugar, peanuts, and then roasted in the oven, kind of a thing, because the nuttiness here is sweet and roasted. It's not like ballpark peanuts you're cracking open. It's more cinnamon and brown sugar, fancy peanuts you get at a nut store.
I'm just thinking, Peter Frampton, do you feel like I do? Woke up this morning with a Glencairn in my hand.
That's just really good. I mean, nose to palate to finish, it's a very lovely experience all the way through. Highly recommend this. This is edition 1. They did put edition 1 on this, which means they're planning on making this a series. You know, they've got a lot of barrels right now they can play with and they can do stuff with. That's one of the reasons they paused production at Clermont, so that they can start using some of these barrels. And plus, they need to do some updates on that equipment. Everyone gets all panicked about this, but they still run in their Boston plant, which is pretty huge. And they've got more barrels than anyone else in storage.
Well, yeah, there's too much panic in the industry.
Yeah.
You know, look, just wait it out, ride it out. If you like the stuff, there's going to be some great stuff coming out.
And this is an example of what we might be seeing from a lot of our favorite distilleries that, well, we've got this older stuff. What can we do with it? Let's blend it and try a new product line that we can release as a limited edition. We don't know how long we're going to want to do this. And I think it's fantastic.
Yep, I totally agree. This is a must get. If you like Knob Creek, you need this. This would be a really good one for a newbie in bourbon that's taken that next step.
It's under $50. You can't find a 10-year-old bourbon under $50 that is this good.
It's outstanding.
It's really good. Thumbs up, Freddie, on this blending.
Oh.
This is fantastic. And what a value you're putting out there in the market. I would recommend this all day long.
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to the number 2 coming out,
Yeah.
because I don't think it's going to stop there.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Booker's release. It's the first release of the year, and I always get excited about the story, and this one's no different. This is the first Booker's release of the year. It's 2026-01, known as the Big Easy. It is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Mash bill is 77% corn, 13% rye, and 10% malted barley. It was aged specifically 7 years, 2 months, and 15 days. The proof is, and this is the highest proof we've had for a while, 129.1. They've kept the MSRP at $99.99. It was released in March of 2026. So this particular batch is a blend from 5 different production dates across 5 warehouses. The higher floor placements, like the 6th floor of G, usually contribute to the deep char and oak notes that Booker was famous for. Now for the story. This batch pays homage to Booker Noe's deep affection for New Orleans, a city he frequented from his youth through his honeymoon and into his later years. While he loved the local culture and fine dining, the title, The Big Easy, specifically celebrates his legendary obsession with the Lucky Dog street carts. The story goes that Booker preferred a humble sidewalk hot dog over fancy French Quarter cuisine, a testament to his unfiltered personality that matches the bold, uncut nature of the bourbon we're about to have. We purchased this on $3.28 for $99.99 at the Jim Beam Outpost in Clermont, Kentucky. So that's pretty cute, right?
Yeah, I would have liked to have met Booker Noe, because if I went to New Orleans, wherever, and all this little foo-foo stuff that people would be eating down there, I would eat a hot dog. I would be hanging with this guy, because he would be cool. Everybody, yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah, I didn't read the whole story. Y'all can do that. I'll post it up. But one of the funny things about the story is he went for his honeymoon.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was kind of funny. But so he had to have a pretty cool wife too, right?
Oh, yeah. She must have been a beast, too. I would have loved to have met the guy. We're blessed to have met his son, Fred, and heard some stories and everything. And anyway, we're going to go ahead and drink some Bookers.
No, it smells good. You can tell it's got a lot of proof on it at 129.1.
I'm getting molasses.
It's very rich smelling.
It is. It almost tickles my nose. It's not the alcohol type thing. It's got some proof on it.
I like it. The molasses is a pretty good call. It's like either really, really dark brown sugar or molasses, some light cinnamon notes.
I'm sticking with that
Again,
molasses.
on the nose, I'm not getting peanuts right
No,
now
I'm
on the
not.
nose. That's not saying it won't be there on the palate.
And I know there are a lot of people out there that have been on the Booker's ride and have gotten off the thing, but I really enjoy Booker's. I still think it's outstanding. And I like the fact that you can find it. You can find it. That's important.
I really love being able to stop by and pick it up at the Outpost there at Jim Beam, because they have it for MSRP, and some of the liquor stores like to mark it up quite a bit. If I can get it for $99, I'm pretty happy girl.
Yeah.
I
Well,
like smell.
Well, I'm ready to taste this. So let's taste what Booker Noe and New Orleans and all that had to do. Looking forward to this. Let's get a swallow of some Booker Noe, Booker's Bourbon.
The Big Easy.
The Big Easy.
Cheers. Oh, that's really nice.
Peanuts. I almost feel like I'm drinking a little bit of this Knob Creek because I'm getting confectionery sugar at the beginning and I'm getting peanuts, but I'm getting a higher proof on it. The mouthfeel on it's terrific.
You know when you go to a really cool, like really high-end candy or nut store and they have those nuts that are candy coated and you bite into it, you get that pop of the candy and they're like, it's like a sugar kind of candy. And then you have the nut. That's what this is to me, right? You got that pop of the sweetness we were getting on the nose. It pops open and then the inside you got that peanut popping out. And it's a fantastic combination. I love those kind of nuts because it's better than just having salty peanuts or just having sweet candy. It's just that cornucopia of everything in your mouth at one time.
That's a good call because the thing I was thinking about was these peanuts back in California when I was a little kid. They'd have like, you'd go up and like put a nickel in and they'd have these peanuts with like a red shell on the outside.
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of what
I used to get boxes of those. They were called
those,
barbecue peanuts or something really weird like that.
Yeah, they were really, really good.
They had a red box.
Yeah, and it just figures with Booker Noe, somebody that would have probably remembered that type of stuff, that I'm picking up this sort of memory on this profile.
But I'll tell you what, for almost 130 proof, this is not hot. It is really smooth. Really, really smooth. Not hot at all. And we just had something that's 106 proof. So it's not like we were drinking something else hot. This is super smooth. I wouldn't have guessed that proof.
I wouldn't have either. I might have gone 120, especially after coming off this knowing it's like 106, 107. 130, it's like, no, it doesn't drink that
It
proof.
is very smooth. It's warm and lingering on the finish. It's very pleasant on the finish. It's got this little sweet note back there with some wood char with that 7-year-old age on it. I think it's fantastic. I would buy this, again, for $100. And I know it's a 7-year-old, so some people feel like it shouldn't be $100. But I think they do take a lot of care in selecting the specific blend for this. I'd be fine if they lost the box. Honestly, how many of those boxes can you have?
Agree.
If that would save some money and keep the price down over the next several years, I'd say keep the box.
Yeah, and I know that's kind of a tradition because they've been doing it for years and years and years, but...
Maybe the Reserve would come out with a box, but that was the only one for the year
Or
that
a
did
real
that.
special, okay, but not to have every edition have this box, because for us, we're going to have to go through and probably pitch boxes.
Well, and I'm already using some to hold my cocktail bitters in, and we've talked about if we make a bar in the dining room that maybe I split the boxes up and make a wall of... I could probably make a wall of Booker boxes by the time you break them down. So what we're thinking of things to do with them. But I know a lot of bars and such use them to hold condiments and things like that. Anyway, I'm just looking at ways they might be able to save some money. Some people might not like that, but if it would keep the price just under $100, I'd be happy to say you can keep the box if you're going to do that.
Absolutely, this is really good.
I like it.
I'm going to take one last sip because I want to measure the finish.
I do think this is a complete experience. The nose starts you out really good. It invites you in. The palate matches that. It just gives you more explosive flavor, but it's not killing you with the proof. And then the finish is nice and super pleasant. It's got a little bit of complexity on it that I like.
You have cinnamon on the finish for sure.
Yeah.
It's very good. Not really woody, which it doesn't surprise me if it's only 7 years. I mean, I actually picked up more woody notes on that than I did
because
this.
it's a 10-year, yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of surprised me. Because usually Bookers, I tend to get a little bit of wood here and there, whatever. But in this case, I didn't. But I'm not disappointed.
I like them both. I thought they're great. Bargain of the day for sure is a Knob Creek.
Yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
if you're going to buy one just based on price, you've got to go with the Knob Creek. But the Bookers is a really solid addition, and I don't think you'd be really disappointed with it.
Yeah, but Knob Creek could be a daily drinker. Buy a couple of them.
Yeah.
All of our Bookers are open. We drink them. They're just not our daily drinkers because we want to keep them around for a while. And we try to make sure we get them all each year so that at the end of the year we can do a kind of Booker blind and see what the winner was for the year as far as what we like the most. I think they're very good.
They are.
Now, would either one of these go on Whiskey of the Month?
It's funny because Booker's never blinds well, which is funny. It's never really done well in any of our competitions.
But we're doing the scoring different this year.
True. I think probably both of these would go in. I would be really curious what Knob Creek would do. I think we probably would have to consider it for sure.
They're on the table, let's say.
Yeah. So I'm going to lift up my Booker's glass to Fred and Freddie Noe out there at Jim Beam. You guys always do a great job. You're very hospitable. You start there as friends and you leave as family. It's a great place to be and a great place to visit. If you like what we do, hit the subscribe button and always remember to drink responsibly. Drink some Jim Beam today. Cheers.
Cheers.